it's Steph with Stefsonabudget. Welcome or welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be doing a budget with me for my paycheck of April 18th. So I am excited to see how the paycheck goes. We are going to go ahead and budget both mine and my husband's full-time paycheck. So if you're new to my channel, my husband and I both work full-time in healthcare. I'm a nurse, he works in anesthesia. And I primarily work from home. He works in the hospital setting still, so he has a lot of on-call hours and things like that. But so 2 full-time paychecks. We are a family of 6, so we have 4 children. Our oldest is grown and out of the house, and then we have our 3 daughters who are still in the home with us. So family of 6, household of 5. So that's kind of how our budget breaks down and who it all covers. So I do use the Budget Mom budget by paycheck method. And I have kind of a happy planner style, although this year I didn't use a happy planner. I created my own kind of monthly calendars, and I have been loving that because there wasn't a planner that I liked. And I found, you know, some covers on Etsy, and then I used the Budget Mom printable workbook. Sorry, words are hard and I hear my dog barking, so I hope that you guys can't hear it. I don't know what he's yapping at. The wind probably, because it's really windy here again today. So what we're looking at here is my monthly view, and I use the highlighter method. So we are going to be looking to pay everything that is highlighted in the green. If you're not new, you've heard it a million times, but if you are new, there's going to be several things on here, like a bunch of credit cards that, you know, are highlighted, but they don't have a balance on them, so they don't actually go into the budget. So I hope that there's more here than will actually be in the budget, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and get myself to quit yabbering, because I can't seem to form a complete thought, it seems, for this video. That's going to be exciting. And we'll go ahead and jump into the budget. So we're looking at the paycheck budget tracker. And like I said, we're going to budget both of our full-time paychecks, so our pay 1 and pay 2. And I've kind of already done some pre-work here to hopefully help us out a bit. So our income came in at $2,959 and 10 cents and $20.29 and 32 cents. For a total income of $4,988 and 42 cents. I put the cents up here, but I don't carry the cents down, so we're not gonna fuss with that. So we're really gonna focus on $4,988. The 42 cents will just stay in checking as a buffer, and then I'm always rounding up on the rest of my amounts. So we're going to start with our fixed expenses. These are all the bills we need to cover this paycheck. And starting off with our biggest, that's going to be half of our mortgage at $1,143. So this is going to be the second half of our mortgage for our May payment. So I'll go ahead and take the first half we set aside last paycheck in the beginning of April, combine it with this one, and go ahead and make my mortgage payment for May. Netflix, count your days, another price hike here. Mine went up to $27 a month now, and we don't really watch this a ton, so that's why I say, you know, Netflix, count your days. You probably got one more price hike and then you're out of here. Okay, I have also, I have this little A here in case you're wondering. This just lets me know that this comes out automatically and I don't have to worry about going in and making that payment. All right, we paid off a Discover card last year, so I still have that debt snowball in our budget, and that's $200. So this is going to go to our current debt. The other debt, so we have our student loans, and then we have this Wells Fargo card left for debts outside of our car loans. And we're going to pay that, and that's $80. We have our Subaru payment at $459, and like I said, I round all of these up, you guys, to the next highest dollar. I have a Ko-fi subscription for $10. We paid off our City One. Oh, I messed that up. Just recently at the beginning of this year, so we have that debt snowball as well for $150. We have a Kindle Unlimited subscription for $13, an iCloud subscription for $11, Disney Plus at $22. This is like heavy subscription time for us. It seems like they all come out together. Okay. Back in the beginning of 2024, we also paid off an oven. And so we have our oven debt snowball, and that's $125. We're going to pay our cell phone bill for $380. And then we did a little bit of spending on our Apple Card, and we went out to eat, and so I need to pay that back, and that's $60. Okay, so let's go ahead and add up all of our fixed expenses and see what we're working with. I gotta move it over here to my left hand, you guys. All right, we are looking at $2,630 in our fixed expenses. So we'll take that from our income of $4,988. Whoopsies. Let's try that again. And that's gonna leave us with $2,358. And already I can tell, I just know my budget well enough because I've been budgeting like this for 5 years now, that I know my budget well enough when I'm gonna have extra. So I already know my fixed expenses are lower, and this number is quite a bit higher than I'm used to having. So we're gonna have a little bit extra wiggle room in this budget, which is always exciting. So we're gonna bring down the $2,358 into our variable expenses, or our cash envelopes. These are all the same for us, guys. This part gets pretty boring. A lot of consistency here. Groceries are holding strong at $300, though I am watching this because I have been over budget in my groceries the last 2 paychecks by about $20. So it's not high enough where I think I need to make an adjustment, other than to probably cut out a few things to stay within budget. But if I continue to be over budget like this, then I'll want to go ahead and evaluate that and see if I need to make an adjustment, right? Because I can withstand to be over budget a few times here and there throughout the year, right? I have a buffer to help me cover that. But if I'm consistently, obviously that's going to lead to some problems. And so I want to fix that as, quick. So I'm watching it. Okay. We put $200 to Costco. We put $150 to our gas for our vehicles. And I've had this question come up before. So Costco, I keep it separate outside of my grocery and household budget, even though I buy groceries and household things from Costco. I just prefer to keep it separate because we spend so much there that I like to kind of keep track to see if I need to adjust how much we're putting towards that. So, I could just put like food and house and everything all together and have this one budget, but I like to see them broken out line item like that. Okay, house and beauty, we're gonna put $60 into, $40 into miscellaneous. That just covers kind of that overspendage if we have it, or things we didn't plan for. Our general spending is gonna get $360. We're gonna put $42 into water. This is for drinking water. We're gonna do $100 to takeout. You guys, we did terrible on takeout the last pay period, awful. I don't think I cooked much at all. It's horrible. Okay, pets is gonna get 50. All right, let's add this all up. All right, and we're at 1302, which is what I expect to see there. Guys, this right hand is so useless. Okay, so we're gonna take the 1302 from our 2,358, and that's gonna leave us with $1,056. And we're gonna go ahead and bring that right on up here to our, so I have the older version of the printable workbook. This has been updated, so if you have it, your headings might be a little bit different. Mine is headed sinking funds, but I just look at it as just savings for whatever. I don't have like each of my sinking funds listed out other than Christmas. So we're gonna work on the same things here that we're always working on. So 33 needs to go to our month ahead. 64 needs to go to our emergency fund. We have extra, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 125 into Christmas. So I'm gonna bump that up again. And then I'm really gonna bump up what we're putting into savings challenges. So $300 there. Normally I put 2. And then our debt binder is also gonna get the 300. So I'm really excited to put this extra to good use. So let's go ahead and add all of that up. And that's going to be $822 total going into our savings categories. And if we take that from the $1056 we had, that's $234 left over. Now I can tell you right now, because I'm budgeting this Friday, the day of payday, and we typically get paid, like our checks go in the night before. Usually I'm paid by Thursday night. And I woke up and was working on the budget and I noticed we had $102 go out to Amazon. So the hubs jumped on it and spent something. So I already know 102 of this is gone, which is actually going to leave us 132, but I'm not going to track that here. I'll track that in the expenses. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down this $234, and we're just going to call that going towards our buffer. So that just kind of sits in our checking buffer and covers us for when my husband wakes up and spends $102. So extra savings, $234, which brings us down to a zero-based budget. And of course, like I said, I'll count for that 102 back here where I do like my expense tracking, right? And you can see I already have it on there. So that's how that looks. All right, guys, that's the budget. We are ready to go. I'm ready to go ahead and pay all of these bills today, which is typically how I do it. So, you know, even though some of these aren't due till the very end of the pay period, I just go ahead and take payday Friday and get everything paid other than those automatic things, of course. Those just have to come out when they come out, but everything else gets done today, which is really exciting because I have 200, 150, so that's 350 plus 125, so that's 475 in a debt snowball. That's going to go right to our student loans in this paycheck, you guys. So exciting. Okay, next thing we need to do is we are going to go ahead and do a cash unstuffing from our spending the last 2 weeks. So now that I have paid off this city card, I have been using it as my cash envelopes, but I still pull the cash so that I can kind of monitor my spending. And now I'm going to go ahead and pay back my credit card. So I have this tracker. Let me go ahead and grab the cash tray, and we're going to get started in paying these back. I'm also going to just zoom you out a little bit for this part. Okay, so we are going to start with line number 1. Actually, let's do this. I kind of want to know what I need to pay back on the card, and I am going to round up, so we might have a little bit extra. And then I'll make sure that, you know, our money adds up in the end to what it's supposed to. So I'm just going to kind of go line by line. The things that have a check on them already mean that those payments come out of either my checking account, or a lot of them are my Stefsonabudget account. And if they have a check, it means I've already paid them because they come out of checking versus cash. So let me grab my highlighters, and hopefully this will make sense as we do it. I've only done it one other time before, but let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this subscription because that's what that is. So one of our Kindle subscriptions that goes in the budget is tied to this city card. And so when it hits my city card, I just pay it from my checking right away. So that's already been paid. The stuff on the budget stuff, I'm not going to worry about. Okay, but we are going to start here. Let's go ahead and add it up. Then we'll highlight pay us back. So we have 97. I'm going to round up just to the next dollar. You guys, I'm not going to fuss with the cents, okay? 155. We have 51. 155 again. Okay. 23, 51, 83, 125, 360, 30, and 445. Okay, so I need $15.75 to pay back my card, which is what I think it's $15.73 and some change maybe actually on my card, so I'm gonna have a couple dollars extra, but I'd rather that than trying to, you know, I can't get it to cents because I don't put cents in my envelopes, right guys? All right, let's go ahead and start with our first transaction, which is $96.70, and that was a Loungefly bag and a few things that I ordered from Loungefly for my oldest daughter. She's such a sweetheart. She helps me out so much, that when she was like, Mom, look at this bag I really wanted, and she's like her and I are both big Loungefly collectors, so I said, you know what, Mom's treat, I'm doing it. And that's what I have a kids envelope for, right, you guys? All right, so I need to get into that sinking fund, which is right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out $97. We got 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. So I owe myself $3 if we end up rustling up any ones here. We'll see if I can remember it, right? That's the trick. Okay. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, we're still pretty good, plus those ones. Okay. All right, let's see, is there anything else in here? I don't think so. Oh, actually there is. There's one more for family fun. So remember last weekend, I was telling you guys in the video that we were gonna go watch Minecraft. Oh my gosh. You guys, I will say that Kennedy and Kennedy had a blast. They were just happy to be together having fun. But as for the movie, from my perspective, Kennedy and Kennedy liked it. I was very much waiting for it to end and to get out of there. I was like, what even is this movie? Like, I don't play Minecraft. My kids do, and my oldest daughter and her boyfriend went with us too, so there was 5 of us. And even they play Minecraft, and they were like, yeah, I don't know, that wasn't very good, Mom. And I just thought, well, what I know about the game Minecraft being like a building game, I just felt like they could have done so much more. Like, there was hardly any building at all. I think there was like 2 seconds of it. So I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Maybe you liked it, but I was like, oh my God. All right, so I've got to pay myself back for the movies, $83. And like I said, that was for 5 of us. So 20, 40, 50, 60, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Ooh, 80. Okay, I'm gonna have to take 90, and then I owe this $8. You know what? I need to make myself some notes, or I'm gonna be in trouble. Okay, so I took 100 from kids, so I owe $3. I'm just writing on a piece of paper off to the side. And then from family fun, I took 90. And so I owe $7 into that one. Okay. Got it. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. It is starting to get, it has been like really warm here in the afternoons, you guys. And I've been like getting hot in my bedroom / office. And so this morning I have the window open first thing, even though it's windy as all get out, but it's much cooler today. I am so not ready to kick on the AC at all. Not at all. Okay, family fun. Oh, I don't really have a color for that one, you guys. It's not like something I routinely track. So let me just put a little check mark by it. That'll probably confuse me, but hopefully not. All right, let's jump up to the top. And sorry guys, I'm still kind of slow at this. This is why I don't do like condensings and things like that on film, because it'd be a horrible, horrible mess. Okay, so we had a charge of $154.50 at the MVD. So we need to cover that with our car maintenance of $155, and we have 20, 40, 55, and that gives me $5 left, but I do have $300 in the high yield that I will probably need to shuffle out. I don't know, we'll see. I don't usually spend a lot from this envelope, but it seems like the last few paychecks I've had to pull quite a bit of money from there. Okay, that one's done. And let me grab my green highlighter. All right, you guys. So that one's done. And sorry if you can hear the dogs. So our little street, we're just a tiny little street in this neighborhood, right? So we have 2 main roads and then a bunch of little roads like this, and we're one of these little roads. And the roads are terrible. And the city is like so behind on maintaining pretty much all of the roads everywhere. And we have this massive, it's all through the neighborhood, but on our street in particular, there's kind of just this massive crack. And so when like big trucks like Amazon and stuff like that hit it, it's like this booming noise, and the dogs just freak out every time. So anytime anyone drives down the street, they're yapping because they think something's out there, because of course that crack's like right in front of our house. And I have put in like a request through the city to say, hey, you know, this crack's so big, we have weeds growing out of it. And they basically were like, too bad, so sad, you're not on the list yet. And I was like, great, okay. Okay, let me quit chatting at you guys. Let's keep going. Sorry, y'all. Let's do this one because it's going to be the easiest. I'm getting into the Hubs envelope because he is a spendy spender. He purchased a watch for himself. Where is this transaction? I know it's on here. Here it is, for $360. So he is going to pay that out of his spending. So 51, 52, 53, 350, 360, and that leaves him 120. Yeah, he's still in pretty good shape. All right. I mean, he does do a good job at, you know, telling himself, do I really want this? Do I need it? Like, he took a while to think about the one that he wanted. But he's always been kind of a watch guy, so. All right, 360 for him. Okay, so that, it's not coming out of mom and dad's spending, but that is his spending. So we're gonna do our gray, and that one's paid back. Which reminds me, I forgot one in this binder for myself. You guys, Happy Planner released a bunch of new Disney stuff, and one of their new Disney lines was Toy Story, and I spent $125, so you better believe that I bought the collection. So I need to take $125 for my spending, 20, 40, 60, 80, 125. Perfect. Okay, 125 for moi. And I still have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. $80. Okay. Not bad. All right, let me highlight off my spending. Okay, now I truly think I'm done with this binder. Just make sure we're doing okay on time. I feel like I am going so slow. All right, let's get into our cash wallet, which is this guy. And we have a, remember when I told you we were way over budget for takeout? Well, we blew through our $100 budget. And so I have this $50. We put $60 on the Apple Card, and then we put $50 on the Citi card. Well, I took care of the Apple Card with this budget. Thankfully, we were able to cash flow that. So I want to put the kibosh in that really quick so I don't get myself in trouble. And then I have this $50 for Chinese takeaway that we devoured, you guys. It was so good. So I'm going to go ahead and take that from our spending money. So $51 from here, 20, 40, 50, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Darn it. I was hoping I could make some change, but that's not going to happen. I had to cut this envelope off before the video because my daughter, she gets in here and counts my money all the time. She's like obsessed with counting money, and she must have broke my zipper because it would like not open. It was sealed shut, so I just had to cut it. Okay, take out. You guys, these are like my mild liners, right? And then I have some brush pens of these. And this tells you how much I highlight for takeout and debt. These are my two big spenders, because I have gone through 2 of these, and now I'm just using the brush markers because they're what I have. Like that tells you, you know, how much I use those 2 categories. It's terrible. Okay, that's paid. Okay, Smith's, we had some grocery shopping, so I did online grocery shopping. And I also went into the store. So I have been liking the online shopping, but I don't like the produce. Like, they never give you the good produce. I feel like they intentionally give you the bad produce. And also, I like to get my own bread because I feel like they give you the closest expiration date. So like sometimes I'll get bread and it's like good for maybe 5 days. I don't like that. So I will order my groceries, go in, shop real quick, and do my produce and bread. And then I'll go get in my pickup spot and then get the rest. That's typically how I do it. But this time I kind of went a little nuts. So I need $155, and I had already spent about $155 in the store as well. So you could tell I didn't do well on groceries at all this time. So I'm going to be short here. I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 124 here. Okay. So I am going to make a note of what I owe myself, what I'm short. So I needed 155 and I have 124. So I am over budget $31 in groceries, you guys. Okay. Okay. I made a note because I already have a plan, because I kind of knew I was in that boat. So it's going to work out though. You'll see. All right. Smith's, you're done. Next, I'm going to go to my Costco spending. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. We're going to pay that back. I am also over budget here, you guys. Good gracious. So I spent $444.69. So I'm going to call it $445. And I have 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 4, 1, 2, 3. I have 403. So I'm over budget here as well. It is okay. I was able to make it work, and I'll show you how we're going to make it work. So I'm going to put that in there. So let's see what we're over budget here. 445 minus 403. So I'm $42 over budget at Costco. All right, so to cover that, that's 42 plus 31. So that's $73. That's quite a bit when you lump it together, right, you guys? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, I didn't have any spending from my house and beauty, and I have $60. And since Costco is both food and house, easy to cover it here. So I am going to 20, 40, 50, 60. So we're going to take 60 from our house and beauty. Thankfully, we are able to do that. So that's done. Okay. And then I still have $13, which I'm going to go ahead and just take from the spending. 1, 2, 3, and 13. And that's going to cover that gap in our groceries and Costco. So we are good. Okay. Now, really quick, I owe myself $3 into kids. 1, 2, 3. And I owe myself $7 into family fun. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that here while I can, and I'll put these away in just a second. I'm just going to set these to the side. Sorry, guys. I'm really slow. I'm really slow at this. Okay. Gas, I went ahead and took out in cash for the first time this time. So I am going to pay back my gas, and I have 3 gas expenses here. One for 20, we're going to call it 23. And then since this is just 2 cents, I'm going to call it 51, and this is just 2 cents, so I'm going to call it 30. So $104 in gas. So let's go ahead and highlight these 3 off as done. And we have 110. So we go ahead and take $6 out of that, and I still have $46 in gas. So let's put that in there. And we'll put this in here. All right, guys, let's make sure we've got everything. We either have it highlighted or a check, and we do. And I remember the number we needed was $15.75. So let's just do a quick check that that is what we have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 300 here. I have 51, 52, 53, 54, 400 there. Okay. 20s, we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 620 here. Okay, and then 10s, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 170. 5s, ooh, we got a star note, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 2 star notes. I need to hang on to those guys. Okay, and then 1s, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. So 1525, is that what we said we needed? No, 1575. What am I missing? What am I missing, you guys? Did I take this out of spending? Let me do a quick recount. Okay, that's what it was. I had a 50 that was stuck to another 50 because I counted 400 and there's 450 and 50. So 1575, we got there. We are gonna go ahead and deposit that back and make that payment to our city card to pay back our spending. We were really heavy on the spending, you guys. So I'm hoping this next paycheck we can reel it in quite a bit, and I definitely need to get my butt cooking at home. I don't care if we gotta eat hot dogs because I don't wanna cook. My kids are so picky. I don't want that. Like, it just seems like we can never agree, and I'm just over it. And so then instead of like fussing, we all just decide to eat, right? But we need to not do that. All right, you guys, I hope this is okay. I felt really slow. Hopefully this didn't turn out too long, but thank you for joining me for a budget. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stick around, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.